All right, so I apologize, poor video quality or whatnot. So, but here is the diff cup. There's a little bit of angle there. So I cleaned it out. Some of it's just little grease and stuff I was just kind of playing with. So it has the rubber O-ring below it, and then it has a bigger washer or shim you can see there, and then a smaller one, and that just kind of spins on there. So I opted for these gears with the spacer like shim. It's a little hard to get apart, instead of the limited slip differential plates, but either matter, no matter either one I put in, it still kind of binds in there. So dropping this thing in there, just kind of sits in there, and obviously they say you just want to make it flush. It's kind of hard to tell from the angle, but it is fitting flush right up in there. So spins fine, everything like that. No issues there. Dropping in these guys right here, I did make sure that it was, the smooth side was facing in, as they kind of showed off on the different Arrma forums and things like that. So I kind of made sure they were facing in, and I apologize if I'm a little shaky here. A little too much coffee today. Get these guys in there. Like so. All right, perfect. So I got these guys all pushed down in there. Nice and flat, level. Kind of stick my finger down in there like they say. Just kind of make sure you got good gear mesh. Nothing's lifting, nothing's pulling up, right? So then you have this next one, same thing, kind of sits like that, fits in there just like that. Now they say you can put this on top or in there, but obviously I don't do that. So I get that kind of lined up there. As you can see, I don't know if it's kind of hard to tell, but it seems like it does fit a little flat or pretty flush in there. I don't really see any gaps or lips or anything like that on there. Let's see if I can get a little closer. Seems like it does fit pretty flush on that. So for this one, we'll opt, I'll show you the one washer. So I made this one a 2 washer. As you kind of, I know it's really hard to see, but that is actually 2 washers stacked. This is just 1 washer or gasket, I apologize. So you can see I've already put this guy in there a couple times, getting the holes lined up. Same thing with this side. It has the O-ring on the one side, and then the 2 shims there as directed to from the Arrma instructions. So lining this guy up, fits on there real nice and good. No issues or anything like that. As you can see when I spin it, I don't know if you can hear, but it fits on there real nice and good. Now, this is where I kind of get to the issue with it binding and moving and things like that with it too. So making sure these all line up good. I'm going to take that off again to kind of show you. Sun gear kind of sits on there, or whatever that gear is. I'm sorry if that's getting the wrong name. That just kind of sits there is what I kind of found. It just kind of obviously it goes there. And then what I also do is like to make sure that plate's pretty well lined up, and I don't have my other tool here, but the gasket. So make sure it's not snagging anything. Looks pretty good. Now the other thing I thought was was kind of interesting is looking at the diagram there in the Arrma forum. These are the screws that came with it. Now these are M3 by 14. Looking at the diagram and the diff breakdown, they actually say to use M3 by 12. So I obviously had some spares, that I could use. There's obviously just a slight difference between the two. I don't know if it makes any big difference. I have tried both with the original ones and with the 12s and with the 14s, and it doesn't make any really difference as far as tightness and things like that, but they are matched up. All right, so I'm going to screw this in now, and I'm sorry for making this video for so long. Again, I apologize for being shaky. holes were matched up perfectly. So I get one started in, flip to the other side. I kind of just get them all started in. I wasn't even using my power screwdriver when I work with the kind of the more detailed stuff. I try not to. Yeah, it goes in pretty easy and good. And going around to the different sides here. Okay. All right, so it's pretty well flushed and sitting on there. Doesn't feel like that's, I'm kind of giving a little pressure, I guess, push down. And these I'm just going to tighten down. And they're going in real nice and smooth, no binding, no anything like that too. So that I just got it to where it kind of just stopped for a second. Like very light. That one's very light, and go to the other side. Again, very light to the touch. Okay, so it's all assembled, rotating it, right there it binds. Smooth, 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 binding, binding. And again, that's not with it tightened down really hard, like it's just super light tightening down. If I like actually just give a little bit more, it will create a bigger binding effect. And then you can definitely okay. All right, so in this one now, you can see that from the previous video, it was binding up there. So here's the gasket. Everything's totally fine with the gasket. No issues with that whatsoever. Just gonna kind of pull this guy up. Still good condition. So now, for my other one, this is the 2 gasket setup that I have, with them just 2 stacked on top of each other. Height-wise, I mean, it obviously adds a little bit more. I did measure it with my, I don't even know what you call that tool, but it did tell me it was a 0.5 millimeter in thickness. So obviously it's going to add a little bit of thickness to it. And if I put this guy on, again, I'm pushing down pretty good to make sure everything's really nice and seated in there. Okay,